How did Michael Franzese gas scheme work? You know how many times I've been asked this? I'm not going to give you all the intricacies of the gas scheme because maybe I want to do it again at some point in time.
I walk in redemption.
Hey everyone, welcome to another Sit Down with Michael Franzese. Hope everybody is doing well. All is very good, very blessed on this end. As always, I give all the praise, honor, glory, and thanksgiving to our God for that. You know, I get a number of questions thrown at me, I'll say, over all the different social media platforms, sometimes in an email, sometimes even, in a text. I think my phone number is out there someplace, maybe in one of my books. But I get questions all the time, people coming at me. I'm on the Connect platform. We get questions that we answer on that. So I had a discussion with my team, and we decided that we were going to Google some of the most prevalent questions or the most popular questions that are thrown my way, and we're going to answer them for you. And hopefully you'll enjoy it. I haven't looked at the questions yet. You're going to put me right on the spot, so this is going to be very spontaneous. My team didn't want me to look at them. They just want me to answer them honestly, of course, and we'll take it from there. So we'll have some fun with it, and I think we're going to continue this. So if you have questions, I think you know what social media platform you follow me on. Just go to that platform, ask the questions, and maybe we'll do this maybe on a monthly basis, something like that, but we'll continue it. So without any further delay, let's get to the first question. Question number one. How did Michael Franzese make his money? Well, there's two sides to that. Are we going back, for the 20 years that I was in the life, or are we doing it now? Let's go back for a minute. Everybody knows, gas business was a major operation of mine, basically stealing taxes from the government on every gallon of gasoline, made hundreds of millions of dollars. So that was that. I also had an automobile dealership. I had two of them, Mazda and Chevrolet. I was also putting money out on the street. I was also making money through the unions. I had a lot of stuff going on. So that was then. Now, I'm a speaker. I do that all over the world. I'm in the wine business. I'm in the pizza business. I write books. So I got a lot of different things going on. So if you have something you want to approach me with, maybe we'll be partners. But that's how I'm doing it now. Next, how did Michael Franzese's gas scheme work? How many times I've been asked this? When I was in prison, guys would come up to me and say, Michael, just tell us how to do it. We'll do everything. You don't have to do anything, and we'll just bring you money. And I would say, yeah, until you got caught, and then I would be the one that you would give up. We don't do any of that. I'm not going to give you all the intricacies of the gas scheme because maybe I want to do it again at some point in time. No, I'm only kidding. But, basically we devised the scheme just that the government couldn't keep up with us. We would collect the tax, not pay the tax. It was very complicated. I had a lot of, moving parts that we had to put in place, and a lot of people worked on it. But eventually, as you know, my partner became an informant, and he gave it up. Otherwise, I'd probably still be doing it today. Let's move on. What does Michael Franzese do now? I think most of you know that. I'm all over YouTube. I'm all over social media. I'm still speaking all over the world. I'm writing my books. I'm operating my wine company along with my partner. And I'm in the pizza business. And, whatever I get my hands on that makes sense, I go at it. I can tell you this, I haven't slowed down at all, really, at my age, 73 years old. And hopefully I'm going to outlive my dad at 103, who knows, but I'll still be working then. You don't want to retire. What's retirement do? You want to enjoy yourself, continue working, but retirement, not for me. Next. What is Michael Franzese's real name? This may come as a shock to you, but it's Michael Franzese. That's my name. Did Michael Franzese go to jail? Absolutely, I went to jail. I was arrested 18 times, went to trial 5 times, was indicted 7 times, and was acquitted or dismissed on every trial. No jury was able ever to convict me. Thank God for that. But yes, I did just about 8 years in prison on a racketeering case that I took a plea on. I got 10-year prison sentence. The 8 years was maxed out with good time. So I certainly did my time, and I did, jail time along the way during my time on the street. Did Michael Franzese keep his money? Well, I kept some of it, not all of it, that's for sure. And, some people say, oh, you know what, you've got money buried everywhere. The government still says you have a couple $100 million in different banks across the country, across the world, I should say. Let me answer this. If it's out there somewhere, I doubt if I'll ever get to use it, but We'll see what happens. Is Michael Franzese in witness protection? Absolutely not. I was never in witness protection. I never cooperated with the government to the degree where I needed protection. Yes, I spoke to the government, but I was very manipulative in that way. I never put any of my former associates in prison, would never do that. They were friends of mine. It's not my way. So no, there was no reason for me to be in witness protection, even though people were upset with me when I walked away from the light. But I want to make that clear. I was not a cooperating witness in that regard. I've been through this. You can go to YouTube and look at it. And as a matter of fact, the government was very upset with me. They said I took them to the cleaners, I manipulated them, and quite honestly, I did. Move on. Is Michael Franzese real? I'm standing here looking at you. Is there a movie about Michael Franzese? There will be. You know, there's one in very active development now. I should have a script in my hands by Thanksgiving. We're with a major production company. I think it is going to move forward. You know, this is a tough business, but it looks like this one is going the distance. I've given it my blessing. Very excited with the writing so far, and I think you'll start to hear something either the end of this year or early next year. It should be on its way to getting in production. And as it continues, I will give you some updates on it, especially those that are on my membership platform. You're going to get first gigs on all of this. And yes, I'll invite you all to the premiere. Next question. How did Michael Franzese get out of jail? Well, I did my time, you know, and I was released on my statutory release date, meaning they had to let me out because I've done all my time. So that's the process. Is Michael Franzese an informant? Michael Franzese is not an informant. First of all, I've been out of that life now for, you know, somewhat of 30 years. And I was never an informant in the way that I put people in jail. Did I sit down and have a discussion with the government? Absolutely. You know, I've said that many, many times. But again, John Gleason, the prosecutor on the Gotti case, Ed McDonald, they all tell you the same thing. Michael Franzese took us to the cleaners. He didn't really give us anything of value. That was my plan from the beginning, and I suffered because of it, because when the government was mad at me, they put me back in prison, locked me down in solitary for almost 3 years. But you know what? Best thing that ever happened to me, because nobody went to prison because of me. I didn't hurt anybody, and I get to live my life. What business does Michael Franzese have now? Well, I'm in the wine business. I'm in the pizza business. I'm in the social media influencing business. I write books and I speak all over the world. So I do a lot of different things. I'm entrepreneurial in that regard. And if you have something you want to propose to me, send it in and we'll talk about it. Does Michael Franzese speak Italian? I'm embarrassed to say no, I don't. I used to understand it quite a bit because my dad would speak to me, my grandparents would speak to me, but that's like 35, 40, 50 years ago. Nobody in California speaks Italian anymore, so I kind of lost it. Although when I do go to Italy, I understand a little bit more because they speak to me in that way, but I'm going to brush up on that. I'm going to take a course because I should at least know the language of my original heritage. Does Michael Franzese have children? I have 7 children. I have 5 daughters, 2 sons. I have 7 grandchildren, and a blessing. What could I say? Is Michael Franzese Catholic? I grew up Catholic, but I consider myself a Christian now. And really, you know, Catholics are Christians. Christians are not Catholics because they practice a little bit differently. But the bottom line is we've all accepted Jesus Christ as our Savior. And that's really the foundation of our faith, whether you're Catholic or Christian. And really, it's just a difference in the way we worship and the way we practice our faith, but basically the same thing. All right, so that's it. I think we went through them pretty quickly. So again, if you have any questions, you know, send them in. We're going to do this quite a bit. And I believe there were hundreds of questions. So we picked the top 15, but there were a lot more. So if you have any more, just send them in. Maybe we'll look through the ones that we have already. Since you're curious and since we get so many questions thrown at us, we're going to respond to them as best we could. So that's it for today. How do I always leave you, my friends? Same way. It's never going to change. Very redundant, but that's how it is. Be safe. Ladies, please be safe. You know, when I turn on the news and I hear some of the things going on, it scares me, especially with daughters and my wife and grandkids. You know, be safe. Watch in the parking lots. Don't park your car in a secluded area. If you got pepper spray or anything like that, it helps, you know, carry it with you. These are rough times we're going through and you need to do that, even in the best of neighborhoods. Be healthy, get to the gym, take care of yourself. You know, I got to tell you this, and this is the truth. We're in Europe. And we feel better after we've eaten a meal because they don't have processed foods there. Read the labels of the foods that you're eating here. It means everything. I mean it. You know, what your diet is and what you eat, that's who you turn out to be, you know, health-wise. So be safe, be healthy. And again, I'll always leave you with this. God bless each and every one of you. God bless your families. And again, God bless America. Yes, I'll see you next time. Take care.